you.
Some ideas.
That don't sound like me.
You are entitled to Brad's
Okay,
opinion.
fine.
Here's your host, Brad Allard.
Well, thanks for
I'm not-
stepping all over the intro.
I'm not scared anymore. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We have this nice guitar music, and you step all over it. All right, I got the
Well,
mayor here. He's in the third term, and he thinks he can swing his weight around a bit. All right.
Well, you'll knock me down to size.
I
That's
know.
okay.
And we got a kind of an unexpected surprise. We have young Mr. Braylon Mullins from Burleson, who just graduated Tarleton. Is that right?
I did, yes, sir. I graduated spring of 25.
And he contacted me. I never heard of this guy. He wants to come and see my show. And I'm like, okay, well, it's the story here. But he seems to be okay. So we'll be
I
all
appreciate that.
yeah,
Yes,
he's
sir.
right. Yeah. He wants to do podcasting on his own. I said, so you want to see what it's like? I said, well, why don't you just join us? The mayor's tired of talking to me anyway. So there you go. We're going to talk a lot about property taxes because yesterday, if you saw my show with Kim Jones, she had a lot to say about it. And so do you, right?
Yes.
And, and also it's summertime, which means it's budget time, which means it's hair pulling time. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And then, of course, we have this big weekend coming up, right?
We do. Our first Hot Sounds of Summer. Mm-hmm. We're going to be doing that. We have a carnival going on and some other stuff.
It's going to be a fun weekend. Of course, the Honey Tour. We'll talk a little at the end about that. We have a couple of nonprofit announcements.
Yeah, it'll crank up out at Centennial. Mm-hmm. Dan's all fired up about it, so we're all good.
Well, my dad did that when he used to do. He wasn't competitive. He was there for the event. But he did that Wichita Falls race forever. And those people take their bicycling pretty seriously.
There's some expensive bicycles.
Yes, as my estate will tell you. Thank you very much. He bought a very expensive bike, and I was like, "Thanks, Dad." I saved some for us, but well. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about all these things. I want to just go ahead and talk about the sponsors first. There's a gentleman named Gary Mullins that's watching us. Do you know a Gary Mullins?
That is my father.
Okay, well,
Yes, sir.
hello, Gary. How you doing? Let's go ahead and visit here. Our place. You've been to our place before? It's a place for us kind of age group.
Oh, many times. Yeah, we used to have our football breakfasts there before our football games.
So you were fighting elk or whatever they call it now?
Yes, sir.
Well, good for you. When did you graduate?
2018.
Okay, so it's been there a long time, and so it's always great food. And it's always a great location. The manager is Otto's son Ryan, who is a very nice young man, and so everybody likes going there because you go there. There's a very comfortable atmosphere. There's no hassles. There's no loud noise or whatever else. People behave, that kind of thing. So
Most of the time.
most of the time, oh yeah. Well, if you want to go raise heck. I don't know if our place is the place to do it, but there you go. Also, Gina's Pizza. Now,
That's good.
Yeah, it is a good place. I go there 2-3 times a month, not just because I'm trying to shine up my sponsor. I like the food. The pizza is good.
It is good.
And you got a good atmosphere. You can go watch the ball game and all this other business. So there you go. Also, John Williams at Old Pro Roofing. He will be at my house this afternoon, in fact, because I always get my roof inspected about early June, and he's pretty tight on the schedule because a lot of people are calling for him, and so I got him scheduled for today. And so when I get home, he'll be there about an hour afterwards, and he'll tell me what's the issue.
You're not
with my
going
roof.
to go up on the roof, are you?
No.
Okay.
That's why I get John. He's a young man. And I wouldn't even know what I'm looking at. I just, it looks good to me, and then it could be
That
leaking.
age they bounce.
Yeah.
Get up and go on.
Well, he's done it twice for me before.
We don't bounce.
Yeah. Well, John is local folks, Old Pro Roofing. At the last storm he had, which wasn't that much of a storm, I didn't think. He said that I was getting phone calls. He was getting phone calls, but I was getting phone calls from strangers. I want to do some business with somebody I know here in town. Old Pro is only about a couple blocks from where your office is, and you know where to find them. And their founder is the late former Matt Aiken, or not former, late former council member is what I meant to say. And so 817-734-2756, and John will come and tell you about your roof, and he won't try to upsell you. He'll say your roof's fine, or he'll say, well, you need a few shingles, or you need a whole new roof. And if you do need that, he'll help you with the insurance. And some insurance companies are better about that than others. So 817-734-2756. Also, Jeff Kelly at the Withington Agency, 817-781-0546. He'll be on the show on June 4th. That's it. And we'll talk about real estate in Burleson, all this other stuff. But also we'll talk about some of the property tax issues I talked about yesterday with Kim Jones, with the Property Tax Justice Foundation. And I'm going to be referring to that conversation in our conversation today because she had a lot to educate me about. And I'm going to have her on again in a month because I didn't get everything I needed to know because it could have been a 2-hour show very easily. So she'll come back in about a month. But guys out there in vast listening audience world, I would suggest you go take a look at that show because you're going to read a lot. And a lot of things that she said you would concur with. So there you go. Also, my friend Rod Lewis, he'll be on June 9th, I believe. He's with the Burleson News Express, local news for Burleson.
He's working hard at it. He's really a good little paper.
Yeah, it is.
It grows for him.
I hope it grows. I think his ultimate goal is like 8 to 10 pages, but he needs content and he needs advertising for that to happen. Right now, he's basically bankrolling it with whatever he can pick up in advertising and out of his own pocket. So, but it's nice to have a newspaper. You know, I'm going to get my car inspected, and I go sit in the office area of the mechanic, and there's the newspaper. You know, Daydream Coffee has it. There's like 48 locations, he told me, at the last chamber event. So Burleson News Express, if you want to find out some nice stories, go pick up a copy. Also, another friend of mine, Will Cobb, and his sister Emily Cobb, True Climate, Heating and Cooling. They came out about a month ago. Air conditioner's good to go. You don't want your air conditioner to go out in June because you didn't take care of it properly. So they'll come out. They have a $99 a year membership thing that can give you steep discounts on inspections, on repairs if they're needed, and if you have to get a whole new unit, you'll get a pretty substantial discount. I see also our friends from Property Tax Justice Foundation are watching. That's always nice to see. Let's see, you got this rookie here, this newbie here on podcast. If they have questions, they'll be over there. If they don't have questions, then I'll see who's watching, that kind of thing. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on with you, Mr. Mayor. Now that you swept the field with the Fletcher political machine, and you're now for another 3 years.
It's a humming.
You know, they start calling you boss yet? You know, Boss Fletcher.
Oh, no, it's still Mayor.
Yeah, it's still Mayor. I know you've always been pretty. You always kind of wore that somewhat lightly, in a sense. You know, you didn't really like walk in and Bigfoot anybody saying, "I'm the mayor, who are you?" kind of thing. And I always appreciate that. Sometimes, in fact, we have to point you out in the crowd. There he is. He's hiding behind the sofa. That's our mayor. And but let's talk about property tax issues. And also, young Mr. Mullins here has some thoughts on the matter, too. And as a young person, it's always interesting. Yesterday, Ms. Jones and I went over not so much the existence of the property tax itself and should it exist or not. That's a later discussion. And she has opinions on it, yes, but we really didn't dive in that. We talked about the process of evaluation and how it's flawed. And you've told me this before. Mm-hmm. And you told me also that the process in which the CAD conducts its business needs reform, seriously. Am I quoting you correctly?
Yeah, you are. There's two valuations on our sheet when we get it. Our valuations comes with the city. Why is there two evaluations? And it's typically one is 10% higher than the other, and that's the one they do your taxes on. Where I'm at right now is I wasn't going to run again. And somebody came up to me, and I'm not going to mention his name because I'm hoping he'll say it's okay to say his name, but I won't yet. But I wasn't going to run again. And after a council meeting, somebody came up to me. He said, are you going to run? I said, I wasn't planning on it. And he said, are you still interested in your sales tax that you wanted to do? And I'll tell you that story. I wanted, year before last, I asked for a 1 cent sales tax increase. That's all. That would have been, and I wanted to do it for public safety. That would have been 1 cent on the dollar, a dime on $10, dollar on $100. That would have been $16 million for the city.
Yeah, it's interesting because before the show, young Mr. Mullins and I were talking about it, and it's kind of what he was bringing up. He had the same same opinion about property versus sales tax. You want to elucidate on that yourself?
I do, yeah. I think a good way to, I mean, of course, you know, I'm all for getting rid of the property tax. I think I have my own thoughts on that, but you can't just talk about getting rid of something and not having an alternative. I do think the alternative would be, like you said, a 1% increase in the sales tax. And that's what would be my alternative. You said, you know, that would have been $16 million more
For Burleson.
for Burleson, just Burleson. And I think that would be a great revenue source. You know, you have citizens who have worked their whole lives to own their homes. And I think getting rid of property tax would incentivize home ownership. As I was telling Mr. Allard.
Allards, please, whatever. No, I've been called worse than that today.
As I was telling Mr. Allard, you know, there's going to be, in the next 10 to 15 years, a lot of homes up for grabs. You know, the older folk, you know, they're on the way out. And
Thank you.
with all due respect, I don't mean that.
He won me over for a while.
Yeah, you got get out of my way, he's saying.
But
He's looking at your house. So.
You have all these homes that are going to be up for grabs, and I would like to see Burleson residents owning these homes rather than corporations buying them out, renting them out for premiums.
That's a problem.
It is. I would like to see, you know, our citizens in our town owning these homes. I also think that, when you incentivize home ownership and people are wanting to get into homes, have mortgages rather than rent, I think it's going to create a lot of competition in the renting market. And I think that competition is going to lead, there will be an increase in sales tax. However, I think prices are going to lower by that competition because people are wanting to stray away from renting and wanting to get into their own homes. And I think that competition is going to
You don't
lower
even need
rent
me
prices.
anymore.
Yeah, well, this is you've said similar things, right?
Yes.
And
that's
so,
right.
you know, and I'm sitting over here. My biggest concern is, you know, we talk about lowering property taxes on like rental properties. Will that savings and property taxes be passed on to the renters? And it's both y'all's contention. It will be. Mine is. We'll have to see, you know, because it's like anytime the government subsidizes anything, and I used this example before, when the government tried to subsidize electric cars, the main beneficiaries were Ford and GM, not those car buyers, because they gave,
Exactly right.
you know, so because $7,500 to buy a new electric car, well, doggone it, the price of the GM electric car went up $6,000, and so you got some pocket change. But you didn't really get the benefit of the whole savings that was intended. It was, and anybody in Washington that gives a subsidy like that knows who's going to benefit from it. And it's rubbish to say that the consumers will, because when Washington passes a subsidy of any kind, it's meant to subsidize the producers, not the buyers. And so my concern also about the sales tax. Now, a penny, you say, well, it's a big deal. Penny is not a big deal. How much would it have to raise to offset an entire abolition of the property tax?
Well, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
The 1 cent kind of showed how much money's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the pushback was, well, we don't have the tax base like you have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you're proportionately speaking here. You don't have the population either. You don't have the amount of roads we have. You're not hooked on to I-35, Fort Worth, and having to defend all that. But the real situation is, go run your history on a 1 cent increase.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like it. He called me up on a Friday night and said, that's $900,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what's your public safety budget? He said, $1 million. So 1 cent could almost cover your M&O on your fire and police. He said, yes. So that shows you how proportionate this is to neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go through the story here real quick.
Okay. I'm get some pushback here. No way. Very few landlords would pass it along. More than likely, they add it to their bottom line. That's kind of
She's
what.
right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
She's
thinking.
right.
Thank you, Kim.
We're going to get along, Kim.
Yeah.
She's absolutely right. And by law, we can't tell them to drop it. You can't do that. Hopefully, by attrition, it's going to come down. So we get to, I get to looking at the bills that are out there. And one of them is a use tax all through the manufacturing line. When you add all those up, it comes up to like 22 cents. That would do us in. So that didn't go, and I got to looking deeper, and the thing that scared me the most, you can never just totally do away with property tax, and there's several reasons. Number one, that's the only mechanism the city has for a budget. Okay?
Could that be changed by law?
What are you going to change it to, and what if it's not right? Let me get you all caught up.
All righty.
So that's number one. Number two, you're dealing with one of the largest economies. Texas has one of the largest economies in the United States. Now think about this. You eliminate property tax and you go to this other system and it doesn't work. What are you going to fall back on?
You can't just put the genie back in the bottle, as they say, right?
Exactly. What this bill is that was created addresses every bit of that. What we're talking about is a 2-cent sales tax increase. Now, everybody says tax, they're increasing taxes. Go take a look at what 2 cents is. 2 cents on the dollar, 20 cents on $10, $2 on 100. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, in an income of $90,000 in a household, by the government numbers, that's about $300 in sales tax. It'll go up a little bit because we're adding 2 cents. Okay? We don't have the final numbers on this. Which do you want to do? Pay $300 that you paid in sales tax over the year, or $1,800 in a lump sum, and it's the same money. The city gets the same amount of money, whether it's $1,800 or $300.
I think you got a convert over here. You want to go ahead?
I think, especially people that are on fixed incomes, I think that you can choose what to or what not to buy, but you cannot always choose not to pay your sales tax or your property tax.
I like this guy.
See, I figured you would. After I got 5 minutes in the conversation,
And we've got
I knew it.
in this bill, there is already dealing with the list that's already available, a low income credit. This is answering a lot of stuff.
That's what would have been my question as well, because, you say, well, elderly people, fixed income people, whatever, have the choice whether to buy or not. Sometimes they don't, And in other states that have sales tax, food and medicines are taxed. Not in Texas, but I'm afraid that would be a direction they would go to find more revenue at a later point, once this mechanism is more acceptable to the people. And you don't want your groceries and your medicine taxed. Now, second question is, I don't know, you say it's $2 on 100 and that kind of thing, right? What if, for those communities that are bordering other states with lower property or sales tax?
We're still lower.
We're still lower than Oklahoma?
Yes, we're still lower than the 5 attaching states.
Okay, Ms. Tammy Robinson says property taxes should be based on the amount you purchased the property for. Income to debt ratio matters for obtaining the purchase and should be considered all the way around. I bet it sounds like she's put some thought into this.
No, I got the same deal. Yeah. We had a meeting with some elected officials yesterday, and that was brought up. They want to pay on the amount that they give and get, and then do that. And and this is respectfully, okay? the services you get, and Tammy, I would like an answer if you could. You have the house, but you're still using somebody else's roads, and you're getting public safety through the sheriff department. This is in the county, and in the city. That has to be paid for. And what we're talking about is a way to control the valuations on stuff and rely on the economy itself for the increases. But the way you're saying this and the way other people say it, I paid this for my house. I shouldn't have to pay any more than what I gave for it. I agree. But we have to have some kind of mechanism to pay for roads, public safety, anything else that comes along, drainage. All this stuff plays into to stuff. So how do you pay for those items if there's not enough tax on the house?
Well, here's an argument in favor of Ms. Robinson's argument, which is I see the math or the point behind it. I'm not so sure I totally grasp it, but the thing is, when you buy a house at X and you own it for 10 years, and it's evaluated after 10 years at much higher value, and you're paying tax on that higher valuation, in effect, you're almost being taxed on unearned or unrealized income. That's the word.
I'm on your side.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying.
What I'm recommending with this bill, okay, let's go back to the basics of trying to get this started up. Mm-hmm. There is a lot of control in this, and I'm going to say a little sideline here. We're not reinventing the wheel, where if you eliminate property tax altogether, you're reinventing the wheel. You have new accounts that the comptroller is going to have to deal with and the whole bit. In the bill that's being suggested, and I didn't write it, somebody else did, and I really like it. What we're doing is creating a mechanism that can fluctuate through its success, or if we have a problem, adjust. We're recommending 2 cents sales tax and 1 3/4 cents for the county. The way this is set up, it all works on maintenance and operations, M&O. I want to use Burleson as an example. Our budget is $255 million. To make that budget work, we have to have $64 million. If we had 2 cents on our sales tax, that would be $32 million. That's half of my cash needs for my budget. Mm-hmm. What do you think we can do on our property tax? Now, the way this system works, the comptroller collects the sales tax like he always has done, and he goes over to the property tax, and he pays the citizens' dollar amount down. So our $32 million, and this is superficial because there's some fees coming out of it and stuff like that, but that $32 million goes against what the citizens are paying on property tax. Now think about it. We just paid down half of our cash needs. What do you think we're going to do with them? That's $1,800, $300 in sales tax, $1,800 coming off of your property tax. And we can grow it. If legislation is seeing that this is working, they have to, and it has to go to the city. It has to go to the people to vote for. Anytime you mess with sales tax, citizens have to vote on it. The other thing I'm wanting is on your property tax bill, I want a line item on there that shows how much of the sales tax paid down your property tax. So when this starts up, you'll see how it's working. This is not for the city to get more money. This is strictly, we're going to get the exact same amount of money that we need to run the city. But it's not going to come from our citizens. It's going to come from the people that's driving through Burleson. It's going to be the people that work here, that live somewhere else. county coming in and buying stuff. The reason this works is because we got this massive sales tax, this massive tax base for sales tax.
Does that work for Joshua? Does that work for Grandview?
That's what that was the first story I told you.
Yeah, I
where
know.
1 cent covered their public safety.
Right. Yeah, I know. You told me that, but do they have the retail base to get that money to do this? I know.
Yeah, it's already proven from what he showed me.
Okay.
But here's another thing that's in this bill. We have a neutralization clause that when we hit our max and we've paid our bills, the smaller town gets an extra.
Well,
We will be helping smaller towns with our stuff.
Well, Sanford Mason, who, by the way, is my next guest on Monday, which is appropriate for Memorial Day, since he's with the American Legion and all, he says a robust conversation on property taxes is welcome, but when there's an independent school tax, emergency services tax, cell phone tax, taxes for minerals, ad vehicle registration, bridge taxes, and others, only a national sales tax fixes where everyone pays the same. That's beyond our pay grade in terms of being able to enact that. But one of the issues I would have also is, I guess I'm uncomfortable with sales tax as a mechanism because what if there's a downturn, like a recession?
Okay, that's where the city managers and the financial people, they didn't like it. They said that sales tax was too volatile. In the first 3 years, we're asking the state to put in 15% into a fund that sits there in case of a downturn. Every financial person that we've talked to, that satisfied them. We have been working on this for a while, and we have satisfied all the accountants, all the directors of finance. Everybody's had their 2 cents on this. We have ran models of downturns in Texas history, and we never hit 5% need. We got 15% in the account.
So, Mr. Mullins, what do you think of all this?
I think.
Let me say one other thing.
All right, one other thing.
Property. I can't remember her name. What's her name?
Kim Jones? Or
Kim?
Or Tammy is who you're talking to. Tammy Robinson, yes.
Tammy, we've got a website being built right now to show all of this stuff, and it's going to be good. We're also available to do presentations. We did one yesterday. We came in. There was one lady, a representative, that came in and sat down, and she was very plain that she did not like it. When she left, she had already set up 2 meetings for us to give presentations. This is workable. The biggest fear I have is they go into some of these bills that they've got. We go to it and we don't have an exit program. We could devastate our economy if we're not careful.
Well, Mr. Mullins, as a young person, you want to buy a house and all this other stuff, but, as an alternative, the fees and the transaction costs will increase under this kind of program. Is that something you'd be concerned about?
So December 24th, I actually bought my first house.
Oh, you're already on the homeowner side.
Yes, sir.
Good for you.
I lived in an RV for 2 years while I saved up, got my job history, and was able to.
What do you do for a living?
I work at Mavis Tire in Burleson. I manage.
Okay.
So,
All right, good.
yes, sir.
They need to be a sponsor, don't you think? Anyway, go ahead.
Squirrel.
But I think incentivizing home ownership. I believe our citizens in Burleson are having 2.1 children per family. I think whenever you make it, cheaper to, buy the house, start the family, I think that will incentivize, people moving from other cities to come to Burleson, which will increase our population, which will, if we do the sales tax, that will increase. By increasing our population, it will increase that revenue generated from the sales tax. And, one home, there's multiple people that, are paying that sales tax. I think
You hit the nail on the head.
yes, sir.
He knows more about it than I do. You must be well educated. Tarleton, right?
Tarleton State.
Hey, you betcha.
Yes, sir.
Bailey, why do we need
Yeah,
that?
no, nobody needs me here. I'm just sitting here and hanging out. But here's the other thing, and Jeff Kelly will tell you this: is that home prices are odd in the sense that if other factors make it cheaper to buy a home, the price of the house itself goes up. Mm-hmm. And it's like if the interest rates are cut in half today, the boom in housing demand would go up. Same thing with what you're talking about here in Burleson. If we had a situation where our property taxes were lower, they probably would be offset by higher home pricing, unless we have enough housing to keep up with the demand, which is
we don't.
And
we're in a lull right now. The bigger homes are selling. Mm-hmm. We've got 14,000 rooftops waiting to be built.
Yeah,
waiting for the economy to. And those three, we got 2 subdivisions and a trade school going in. Mm-hmm. You're waiting for things to happen. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff, good stuff coming home. But the real problem that I have is the people that can't afford their stuff right now. Mm-hmm. And that's the purpose of the income tax credit in this. And it's already, we don't have to build nothing. They've already got this list of names that need this. And the bill that we have, that doesn't get rid of all the exemptions you're getting, like the freezing your this and the no tax on veterans and stuff like that. That's still ag exemptions. That's still in place. It doesn't affect that. It's really not doing anything but collecting money from sales tax and paying down the property tax, and it's all percentage-wise. It's there. It's easy.
If I could interject for a minute, circle back to the housing market. I mentioned earlier that the older generations are dying out. These houses are going to be widely available. Well, what's that going to do to housing prices? We have a lot of homes and not a lot of people wanting or going to buy these homes because of that supply and demand. Those housing prices are going to drop anyway. I believe.
Well, I could tell you, I've had experience selling 2 homes for my mom within the last few years as her health has declined, and the market is down. This is, of course, Corsicana now, not Burleson, but still, the days of getting blown out by massive offers was something during COVID when you had like 2% interest or something silly like that. I don't know if those days are going to return, but my concern about the sales tax is it would have to be statewide. You couldn't do it just Burleson only because
it is statewide.
Okay, that's what I figured, because there's no chance that if
that's the reason we're on the stump getting this out. That's the reason we're building the website. On the website, it'll explain all of this. It'll also have it interactive where you can plug your numbers in. We'll have links to government open books, open records where you can get your numbers from your town and plug it in and see what it'll do. And on the last page, it'll have all the elected officials there, whether they vote yes or no, and if they support it or not. So far, we have not failed to win anybody over.
Can you speak for Ms. Kerwin, or is that something
she's going to be probably the author on the House
How about
House side?
Senator King.
His representative was at the meeting yesterday, and he really liked it. So we will have those 2 authoring, and this is not a partisan thing. Mm-hmm. I will go sit down with any group that wants me to sit down with them and explain this. I don't care what you are.
I know
people are hurting, and we need to fix it.
Now, the Property Tax Justice Foundation is having some sort of meeting in Cleburne pretty soon. I forget the date off the top of my head, but I bet Ms. Jones, or if she's still on the air here with us, will tell us the date. And you're going to have to talk to a lot of groups to get support, because there's going to be a lot of people like myself that said, I get in general what you're saying, but I need to see the fine print, because there's
not any fine print.
Well, I know it, but there's people going to assume there is. They're going to suspect.
I'm telling you, and that's the reason we built the website, so we can tell people, if you want us to come talk to you, this is where you sign up. It is the Texas Property Tax Relief Plan.
Texas Property Relief Tax Plan. Is that
Texas Property Relief Tax Plan?
Relief Tax Plan. Okay, and this website's in construction, right? You say?
I want to look, make sure I'm saying this right.
I have not heard much about the statewide candidates on this issue, because right now everybody's focused on Paxton and Corn and that kind of thing. But after we finally get the November slate put together, I'm sure it's going to be topic number one, particularly at the state level for representation. You know, what is Ms. Curran going to draw an opponent? Because sometimes they don't.
She's got one.
Okay, I'm sure that's going to be topic number one. Same as is Mr. King's not running for re-election, is he? It's not his turn yet.
He's not on the ballot.
Yeah, he's not his turn yet. You know, statewide, it's going to be an issue. I will bet a full dollar that Mr. Patrick will win re-election, but I bet that he'll still campaign, and this will probably be on a top of his list because he has made it a priority about property tax issues, and there's a lot more momentum towards that. Even Ms. Curran's predecessor, Mr. Burns, wanted to get rid of the property tax.
You'll never get rid of the property tax.
Yeah,
though.
but they wanted to make it so much less of a factor in people's overall tax expenditures.
Absolutely.
I guess that's where they put it.
That means we need to have a plan that we can start, see how it works, increase it as we need. This is it. That it really works. I'm so impressed with this bill that it's so simple. It's blending in with the mechanism we already have that the comptroller is doing. It's got safeguards where they can't come change it like they did on the lottery thing where they took it away from the schools.
Don't get me started.
And it helps people. It's not, it's this guy has really done a great job on this bill.
Who was the author of the bill again?
I'm not saying.
Okay.
He hadn't said.
He hasn't released his permission yet. Okay.
And I want to say something else. This is not a City of Burleson initiative. This is me and one other person that's doing this.
Well, it also doesn't penalize homeowners, according to Ms. Robinson. You know, the thing about it, I guess.
Tammy, you and I need to get together.
Yeah, me and others like me, myself and others like myself. I don't know which is the right English. Who knows? I guess as long as those questions are answered, I could see the valid nature of this bill and the whole concept. I just don't want to get in a situation where the lower income people in the state are impacted more so than they already are by taxes.
Okay. I've already proven to you because of the quantity,
right.
It's going to be less. But you also got to keep in mind that the staples of food is not taxed right now.
Right.
Cars aren't taxed. We don't get any tax off of cars. We don't. That's really a problem. We get the retail sales of the parts and repairs, but the sale of a car, we don't get anything. And that's wrong simply because they use our roads. Why do we not have a 4-cent tax per gallon going to the cities to take care of the roads?
All right, here's what I was talking about. Ms. Jones put it out there. Burleson Library Property Tax Workshop on Tuesday, June 2nd, 6 o'clock to 7:30, East Cleburne Community. Gosh, it must be nice to have a community center, Mr. Mayor. East Cleburne.
We do have a community center. You don't go there.
Oh, okay. Well, Pathway. Okay, if it weren't for Pathway and First Baptist, okay. Back to the announcement. I'll start over again. The Burleson Library Property Tax Workshop on Tuesday, June 2nd, 6 through 7:30, East Cleburne Community Center's workshop is being rescheduled due to the Cleburne mayoral candidate Thursday, May 28th, 6 to 7:30 at Johnson County Special Utility District on 174. Oh, I've been there before. Okay, so it's on May 28th, 6 to 7:30. Okay, at the Johnson County Special Utility District on 174. Ms. Jones plans to have several workshops between now and Election Day. To try to inform people and so they can ask some good questions like this young man here. He came prepared. I was thinking, well, we're going to have to hold his hand, but apparently not.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, but anyway, but, it's good to have a young person's perspective because, most people don't own their own homes at your age and all this. And it's, it is a concern. I have a son that's older than you and a daughter that's older than you, but they have struggled to buy homes. And that has been an issue. And part of the issue is the interest rate. Part of the issue is, the tax issues, the property tax issues. And if they had a way that they could afford the home, I'd be very on board with it. Of course, my son lives in Oklahoma, and their property tax is much lower, but they also have a state income tax. And you say state income tax here, and they'll hunt you down with dogs. All right, Property Tax Justice Foundation says it's available to speak at HOAs and any community group. So, Ms. Jones, I guarantee you, she is very passionate about this issue. So she'll be there if two or more and property tax names are together in my name, she will be there, so to speak, to misquote scripture. There's Josh with all the information here about the Property Tax Justice Foundation. And it is a nonprofit, so, they're available for some help, you might say. But I would advise y'all to go to the Facebook page and, follow them and find out what's going on and get all sorts of information from them. But back to y'all, let's kind of switch gears a little bit. Summertime is budget time, right? And what are you basing the budget on? Because there seems like to be a lot of flux in this whole issue.
We've got our projected valuations on the property tax already, but they found a flaw in it and they're redoing it.
Oh boy! Well, that's better now than
Hey,
later.
listen, that's better. We got, last year, we got our evaluation 10 minutes before the deadline. That was a 5:30 deadline on a Friday.
Yeah, I bet.
And before then, we knew there was a 3-year evaluation that was coming in.
Yeah.
That was really going to hurt us. We had 3 different bills to cover us.
Well, I've talked to you several times about this topic, and with Larry and with Victoria and the rest of the council, and it is the primary function of the city council is the city budget, and y'all go through it a lot. And
6 months.
Yeah, and what drives y'all crazy, if I could put words in your mouth, is that y'all work on it 6 months, and you have hearings, and you have open opportunities, and they're not particularly well participated in by the public, and then you pass them, and then they go, "Hey, I don't like this budget." It kind of.
I had one guy. The process goes on for ever and ever. It seems like, and then we start approving portions, but at the end we have to adopt the entire budget.
Right,
okay.
right. Kind of like a reconciliation bill.
If you're coming to the night that we're adopting the entire budget, you're too late. If you want to speak in front of council, come in a time frame of the 6 months when we're talking about that particular issue. Because when you come up there on the last night and get up and call me a thief, I really don't appreciate that.
That's happened, has it?
Oh, absolutely.
A thief? What are you stealing? Their money? Give me a break.
Yeah. And I was very nice.
Well, I'm sure you were, as always, tactful and calm. But the point is that I'm saying this to the audience, not to y'all individually, but the audience, if you want to know what's going on with your budget, summertime is not just a time to lay by the pool or on a vacation. You need to be involved in this if it matters to you. And like the mayor says, you come in, you moan and groan on the last day. It's too late because you had your chance. And there's probably few things that the council does that's more important than this. I can't think of one. And it's a very open process.
Very open.
Yeah, it's this isn't done in the back room.
I'm not going to jail for anybody. Okay, everything's on the table.
Well, Texas.
I don't look good in orange.
No, you don't. And it'd be sad look, But it's like, this is not just open because of the content of the character of our members. It's also law, right? It'd be open process. When I was on that board in Austin down a few years ago, they were very strict about open meetings rules.
Oh my gosh! The reason the city council is not involved in this, what they hear me say, that's okay. That's not under quorums. But I'm going to be very, very open about this, and I don't want to take a chance to have a quorum.
Yeah. Exactly, and it'd be a situation.
And it's killing me because I want to get up and tell them what we're doing and get them to participate. But every time we did that, we'd have to send out notices to everybody that we're going to be a carrier, and we have to say about what we're going to talk about and the whole thing. I don't have that time.
Well, the idea that you guys get behind closed doors and cut deals is rubbish because I remember on that board, I was on the teacher certification board. If 3 of us got together for breakfast at the hotel we were staying at, we had to talk sports or weather or kids, but we couldn't even come close to talking about agenda-related items.
That's exactly right.
Because we'd be violating the law, and
they take that very seriously.
And so guys, what I'm saying to y'all out in the audience is that this is not done in backroom deals. This is done in the open. For if you want to be involved in it, you're going to have every bit of information you ask for or need, and so that's one reason, among other reasons, I always stress how local elections are about the most important ones there are. I mean, yeah, Cornyn and Paxton, great, cider, but this guy across the table is going to have more impact on what's going on in Burleson than those guys will.
And we're fighting for you. We fired our lobbyist, and I'm out now.
Yeah, well, that was a state request, you might say, right? Or was it? No, y'all did it.
He wasn't performing.
Okay. Well, so you're going to be at.
I got me a smaller truck so I can park in the parking garage.
That's nice. That's because I've been in that garage and I used to have a pickup, and it was.
We went down. I had to testify in front of the House and the Senate, and the city drove me down in the Suburban. We pulled in one way, came out 4 hours later, and there was a 1-ton crew cab dually behind us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It was a little tough to get out, so I got me a Tacoma.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Mullins, I would, suggest. You said you're interested in a political career at one point.
Yes, sir.
This is where you start. Okay, really, because go from citizen to congressman sounds great for TV or something like that, but really, that's not how it works, and that's not really. I'd like somebody that's going to represent me in Washington that's also represented me in other avenues. I could see their performance and see their motivations and whatever else.
Right.
So, do you have any plans on any kind of future political career?
I do. Eventually, I want to work my way through Congress. I think I want to start small. I want to start within my own community, build rapport with my own citizens, my own constituents. Things like this. Allowing my voice to be heard, my face to be seen. I do believe the days of door knocking are falling behind us. I think.
You'd be
programs.
surprised.
Honestly, the mayor's right. In a town like Burleson, personal contacts, even if just a brief one.
The larger communities, I agree with you. You just can't do it. But I'm telling you, Tammy was bringing up HOAs and stuff like that. My first run, I went to HOAs, and the good thing about it, they got great food.
Yeah,
that's they feed you well.
Yeah, but you're doing barbecue joints and whatever.
Huh?
When one of your first ones at a barbecue joint or something like that?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Okay.
Be 101. Now, my history with Burleson, I've been here for 40 plus years, and between the church, I was on the board at the chamber, Harvest House, something else. But anyway,
local business.
Yeah, I owned Texas Overhead Door for 35 years. My nephew took it over, so I'm still around it.
My brother used to work there.
Really?
Yes, sir.
What's his name?
Zach Greger.
Get out of here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We had one employee that retired the other day. Had been with us 36 years. Daryl Sanders. It was a big family. I missed it.
Right.
But all of this stuff in the community, participate. To get started in government, go get on the P&Z committee. Learn it from the ground up.
And I'd also say, I know you're a young man in a hurry, but not too much of a hurry. This is the process of learning how to be a politician, which really isn't a bad word. It has a bad connotation, but you learn a lot about negotiation, because I could tell you I've known the mayor since his first run. We met during his first campaign, and I would bet a whole dollar now you've learned some things that you didn't know then, right?
It's not what you just learn, it's who you know.
Right.
We have a president on the North Central Texas Council of Government because of the past presidents of the COG who select the executive board. Because of the people I knew from the Tarrant Regional Traffic Coalition that I'm on that board. And I know everybody wants term limits. I do too. But I've got a question of when you get into an office and you're meeting people and you're making these relationships, that has got Burleson where we're at today. And now we've got another person that has a real good shot at getting on the executive board to come right in behind Victoria, and she'll be getting off here in the next few months.
Yeah,
it's only one term.
Can you tell me who that is? Is that still in negotiation?
It's Alexa.
Yeah, I was going to guess her or Adam.
Yeah.
All right. Now, as far as the learning curve, you can tell him when you first became mayor, there was a learning curve.
Oh, it was brutal. When I got
Yeah,
home.
it was, and yeah, it was, and
Yeah.
so it's like when I was teaching school. I mean, I thought I was prepared. I had no idea what I was walking into in 1988 with a bunch of these savage little seventh graders. All right, and it's the same thing on that board. I joined in 2009, and I really didn't feel comfortable on that board, the certification board, until really my second year. And that first year, I was like the old expression, drinking from a fire hose. They were talking stuff, and I'm
Fire hydrant's what they told me.
yeah, but it really. So that's why experience does matter, and he's right. If you join some of these groups like the planning and zoning, that's always been a really good one to be in. Do you live in the city?
I do.
Okay,
I live in Burleson.
Then you're perfectly eligible. I live right outside it.
Well, I do live right outside city limits.
Oh, but you live in the ETJ, so that's a question. No, I'm sorry. Need to move inside. He's been telling me to do that for a while.
Right.
But
There's other things
There's
you can be a
others,
part
yeah.
of. But yeah, I had nothing to do with city government till I got elected.
Right.
yeah, that's an interesting story. You still talk to Carter about that? You like, thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
Yeah, we'll never forget Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. That's when he called me and talked me into signing the paperwork up. And if one individual had kept their mouth shut, I would have got out of the race. Mm-hmm. But
It's a long
they said
story.
a few things in front of my wife that she said, you need to go fix this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did.
That's also another factor is family support. I mean, I know Miss Nancy's been long suffering, but she has been a pretty valuable ally to you on
Oh,
this.
absolutely.
Not just as a wife, but as I'm sure,
No, she's a
consultant.
She's my bud.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you married or anything?
I am not. No,
Okay,
sir.
So you're happy, you're saying. Okay, good. I get it. But
Oh, that dog.
he walked into that one. Anyway.
You're going to pay for it.
Oh, my wife, she's used to it. Her eyes are rolling now. It's like, oh, whatever, I'll be in about 10 days or so. It'll be 36 years.
That's beautiful.
It's not too bad. She's pretty good. Sport.
36, is that all?
We married in our mid 20s. We weren't young kids like y'all. You probably married and still in high school or something, or close to it. No. Well, anyway.
I'm not talking age.
But anyway, there's other, like you said, there's other things to get involved in, and like Chamber of Commerce is a good one. Other networking groups, and just getting your name out there. School district. You can run for school board if you're.
I would like to. I would like to be a part of maybe Burleson PD someday. I think if I'm going to be in Congress, if I'm going to make laws that affect my constituents, I would want the most.
Are you talking about being an officer?
Yes, sir.
You got to go through the academy and
Yes, sir.
I'm sure he's checked it out, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
And so it's. You'll be joining in Burleson PD. You'll be joining one of the best police departments in the state, I think.
Absolutely. We have to be
so-
because we share a border with Tarrant and Fort Worth.
Right. I've got many people that I played football with that are on BPD, and they say great things about it.
And Billy Cordell got it going on over there, I guess. And then of course we're going to get that new
telling you.
stuff. You're going to have that new not that foundation.
It's amazing how
new
many.
building.
I get to go to the pinnings and stuff like that, swearing ins, and how many have come up through the ranks. That's what's really neat about it. And there's better paying places. We went through a phase where we're constantly having to raise that salary to keep our guys because it's in a 10 count cities. Okay, our peers, we like to stay at the top 1, 2, or 3. Well, when you go up, you're sitting at 2, and then 2 weeks later you're at 8.
Yeah.
Right.
It's BIC.
So you have to come back, and you have to do it if you're going to lose your guys.
Yeah.
Right.
So you come back. So it's always fluctuating like that. One of the things when they started defunding the police up north, we got some good officers out of that, and they appreciate it too.
They're well treated as opposed to hassled. I've gotten to know several of them through this podcast experience, and I know a couple of students of mine are cops, and they, it's like I'm glad. Only time I'm not glad to see them is when they're pulling me over. So that's why I drive. I got pulled over in Weatherford, Oklahoma, Friday for driving while texting. Seriously.
Well, that's stupid.
Well, I know. They saw my Texas plates. They pulled me over because they said I didn't give the right of way. And I'm like, are you kidding me? They gave me a warning, but it's like they were hassling me because they could. And that's a second time that's happened. You drive
You got Texas plates.
Texas plates. You better.
When we had to go into Oklahoma a lot to do door service and installs and stuff. Mm-hmm. We took that name of the company's Texas Overhead Door. Mm-hmm. We put magnetics on so we could take them off when we went into Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, we was going to get pulled over at least one time for nothing.
Yeah, and this is what happened to me. And this is the second time it's happened. I got, I was doing like 49 and a 45. He said, "I give you a break. You got drunks all over this town, and you're pulling me over for 4 miles over."
Brad, you broke the law.
And I'm just an outlaw. Okay,
You broke the law.
let's talk
Brad.
about what's going on this weekend, because there's a bunch going on this weekend. We have the honey tour. I don't think it's too late to sign up. Certainly not too late to sign up to be volunteers. I'm sure Melissa and Candace would very much like to have y'all volunteer. It's a big deal. It's doubled in size, according to Jeremy Bleeker, whose company Sync is Sync Construction is sponsoring it, or one of the main sponsors anyway. And it's going to be a big event, biggest one we've had yet. And then, of course, coinciding with that, beginning Thursday night, we have the big carnival. Whose idea was that carnival anyway? You going to take credit for that?
I think Parks did that.
Well, it is some of the parks do it.
It's gotten huge.
It is. And it's, even as old folks, I still like to kind of walk around with my wife, it's very nostalgic, and you see a lot of families there. So that's one of the good things about Burleson is we do these things, these big events. We got you also told me that Friday night we have our first Hot Sounds of Summer and all that, and
Yep, we got a name band. I'm trying to look up the name.
well,
But we got good entertainment.
Well, I'm glad that somebody, let's put it this way. If you were choosing musical groups, every week of Bob Wills or whatever would be kind of redundant. So we have a variety of music.
Oh, we got several. The Freak, it seems to be a big draw.
Oh, we know what a
we
big
have
disco
Hispanic
fan.
band that Victoria introduces. And it's fun. I tell you what, it's nothing like seeing the little kids get up in front of the stage, start dancing around.
Oh, yeah. And then, of course, we have that great farmer's market. Is that farmer's market going to be operating Saturday because of the race and the carnival?
Well, he starts cleaning up around 3. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I don't think he is.
I don't know either, but that farmer's market has really blown up a lot.
That's where I get my steaks.
Yeah. Well,
Chaz has got, I just picked me some Chaz, and it's got that marbling in it like you don't see in restaurants and stuff.
yeah. And then also on June 12th, we have the golf tournament for the chamber. This is how Mr. Mons, this is how you get connected. You do these things. And sometimes it's like, oh, geez, I'd like to sit here and watch TV. But if you want to do what you want to do, you got to do what you got to do. And so, you like that? It's good. I just made that up.
I laughed. I don't know if I liked it or not, but I guess it worked.
Well, anyway, golf tournament, June 12th over at Hidden Creek. It's about $600 for a team, $150 for a person. You golf?
I do not.
Well, how are you going to be a congressman if you can't golf? I mean, really, seriously. But anyway, it's going June 12th. Call Candace and Melissa, get signed up. It's a lot of fun. I do know that there's a couple other events. I know in early July, our friend Jack Matson's going to have, with his Marine regiment, going to have a fundraiser for a wheelchair. They raise money for a motorized adjustable wheelchair for a young person that needs it.
Okay.
And so it's pretty good. Next week, like I mentioned, I have Sandy Mason on Memorial Day. And we'll talk a little bit about American Legion, but we'll also talk about his work with the Texas Parks and Wildlife. And then Alex Phillips is going to be on Tuesday.
Cool.
Yeah, he says you're the best mayor he's ever seen. Just put it out there. So, no, he really is complimentary. I was just kind of kidding you a bit. He's very complimentary about the council and your job.
City Hall, and everywhere is really a great place for work. It really is. And I've got to do one other thing.
Okay.
Tammy, is it okay if he gives me your contact information?
I don't have it.
You don't have it?
I don't have it. I really don't. But a lot of people I'm familiar with in this format only. I don't have her phone number or her email. So she'd have to email you at the city to give you her contact information.
Mayor at burlesontx.com.
He replies real fast too.
He does, and he
does.
Mayor at Berthoud's. Yeah.
Aaron, thank you for watching. Aaron Ash is always watching the show. Hope it's a wonderful day today. Well, I hope it rains. And we need the rain.
We do.
You know, 'cause-
Lakes are getting low.
yeah. Well, yeah. It sure enough is. So, Mr. Mullins, what do you think? You have a good time today?
I think I'll have a good time today.
Yeah. No. I meant on the show.
Oh, I absolutely did.
Okay. Who cares what you're doing the rest of the day? You know, these kids.
Definitely had a great time. And I really appreciate you guys taking the chance on me and allowing me to be a part of this.
Well, you want to
Well,
do
he
this
took a
again in the
chance,
summertime? I need some programming, so maybe before you leave, we can visit about a future date. You know, because
Absolutely.
because you know, it's some people need to hear the younger perspective. You know, I do. That's
At
what
least
the kids
it's not
tell
me
me.
anymore.
I know. Yeah, poor Josh. Bless your heart. You know, we just pick on that poor boy, being the what is are you Gen X that he is. But you know,
Gen X.
what are you? I keep track of these things. Gen Z.
You know, that's a good question, actually.
Yeah, I know. And we ask him, have you heard of this group or this song? No. It's like, oh, these poor kids.
Hey, I've caught most of your references
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Bailey, you ever listen to Santana?
Can't say I'm familiar.
See. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, these kids don't know.
Yeah.
These kids don't know. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. As we'll see you next Monday. I'm going to just kind of take a look and see what's on the next couple of weeks.
Eagles?
Oh, I know the Eagles.
Okay.
I have
Okay,
I have
yeah.
Eagles vinyls. Yeah.
Okay. See, the hipsters like vinyls now, and I still have
Oh,
vinyls.
man. They're
Yeah.
better quality.
Yeah,
I got some.
I got some that I still have from high school days.
I got an original Dolly Parton vinyl still.
I've got a suitcase full
You just
of
got it
big,
for the cover, I'm betting.
I got a suitcase. I got a suitcase full of big band vinyl.
Hey,
I don't even know where the actual vinyl went. I just got
well, I'll have the chamber on in a couple of weeks. I have Jeff Kelly on. June's pretty full, so we'll see what we got. I'm looking forward to this month, or the next coming month, because we got a lot of good shows coming. Thank y'all for participating in one of the better participated shows we've had around. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Aaron. So, and we will see y'all Monday at 11. Yes, what more? Oh, yeah, everybody. All right, thank you, Mayor. Fine, everybody. Don't worry. The kickback's coming. All right. Thank
Thank you,
y'all.
Tammy.
All right. Thank y'all very much, guys. Bye-bye.